In a completely deranged, and some are arguing senile moment, Donald Trump said that he invented the word equalize. He tries to take credit for the word equalize. Um, I mean, I don't, just listen.
The rest of the world's going to have to pay a little bit more, and America's going to pay a lot less. Again, because it's a much smaller population than when you think of the whole world. So basically what we're doing is equalizing. There's a new word that I came up with, which I think is probably the best word. We're going to equalize.
Equalize, a new word and probably the best word, says Donald Trump. Feeble, folks.
We're all going to pay the same. We're going to pay what Europe's going to pay. We're going to all pay. Now, there may be some countries in dire need, and I would be willing to sacrifice that and help them. But it's called most favored nation. We are going to pay the lowest price there is in the world.
So there it is. Donald Trump created the word equalize, and it is one of the best words. How is this going completely ignored by the Biden dementia truthers? How? Tell me what the difference is other than an R next to this guy's name rather than a D. Trump then asked about that free luxury 747 that he's getting from Qatar. And Trump says what we all know. He's not the sort of person to turn down such a great gift. To which my reaction was, yeah, I know, Donnie boy.
If we can get a 747 as a contribution to our Defense Department to use during a couple of years while they're building the other ones, I think that was a very nice gesture. Now, I could be a stupid person and say, oh, no, we don't want a free plane. We give free things out. We'll take one, too.
Trump will take it.
And it helps us out because, again, we're talking about we have 40-year-old aircraft. The money we spend, the maintenance we spend on those planes to keep them tippy-top is astronomical. You wouldn't even believe it. So I think it's a great gesture from Qatar. I appreciate it very much. I would never be one to turn down that kind of an offer. I mean, I could be a stupid person, say, no, we don't want a free, very expensive airplane. But I thought it was a great gesture.
Yeah. Why on earth would Donald Trump turn down such a gift? Now, of course, a little bit later, we're going to look at what Donald Trump used to say about the Qataris, and the content of Trump's own previous claims are more than enough to explain why he would turn down such a gift. Trump continuing to tell the same damn lies he's told 100 times now. Big announcement. Trump says there's 11 new car factories coming to the United States. They're being built. Now, I hate to pop the balloon, burst the bubble. This is not happening. Trump also promised the very same thing during his first term.
We have at least 11 committed massive car factories that are going to be built, that are in the process of being built. And some are going through, some have actually started. We also have renovations of existing factories where they weren't utilizing the full factory from years gone by.
Right.
And now they're under full renovation. They'll be opening up full factories in a very short period of time. Our car industries, I think we're going to have the number one industry. You know, if you look at Japan and these others, they do tremendously with cars, and they can do that too. But you know, if they want to sell cars in the United States, they're going to have to build factories in the United States.
Okay. We do not have any reason to believe, nor any reporting, nor confirmation that 11 automobile factories are coming to the United States. And, you know, how many of these promises does he have to, how many times does he have to make the same promises without them coming to fruition before no one believes it? We, yesterday on the show, by the way, we talked about how they started claiming, the Trump administration started claiming, we've got a deal, we've got a trade deal with China. And of course, I was very careful to tell you there's no deal here. This is just, they've postponed implementing the tariffs and retaliatory tariffs for 90 days. There's no deal here. But some of these people are probably going to fall for it. Yesterday, I did a TikTok live, spoke to Trump supporters, and I had a guy called in and go, Trump just signed a deal with China. They just did. We have a trade deal with China. And I said, oh, what's in the deal? He said, well, I don't know. And I said, who signed it? I said, what is a trade deal? And the guy didn't want to answer. We'll be posting the clip. The point here is, You and I hear 11 factories building cars coming to the United States. We remember the same promise from the first term. We remember that it didn't happen. We remember that there was no public reporting about it at the time because it didn't exist. The same damn thing is going on now. And yet I assume there are people falling for this. Trump then took on the subject of the prescription drug prices. And this is wild. In talking about how by executive order, he's reducing all prescription drug prices, which like is not a thing. He started talking about, I guess, Ozempic, and he referred to it as the fat shot drug. And he doesn't like that people are paying more for the fat shot drug in the United States. Listen to this. It is reminiscent of the sort of ranting and raving you often hear from people hanging out on the subway platform near Union Square in Manhattan.
I'll tell you a story. A friend of mine who's a businessman, very, very, very top guy. Most of you would have heard of him. A highly neurotic, brilliant businessman, seriously overweight, and he takes the fat shot drug.
He takes the fat shot.
And he called me up and he said, President, he calls me, he used to call me Donald, now he calls me President, so that's nice respect. But he's a rough guy, smart guy, very successful, very rich. I wouldn't even know how we would know this, but because he's got comments. President, could I ask you a question? What? I'm in London, and I just paid for this damn fat drug I take. I said, it's not working. He said, I just paid $88. And in New York, I pay $1,300. What the hell is going on? He said, so I checked. And it's the same box, made in the same plant, by the same company. It's the identical pill that I buy in New York. And here I'm paying $88 in London. In New York, I'm paying $1,300. Now, this is a great businessman, but he's not familiar with this crazy situation that we have. But he was stunned. But it was just one of those stories. And I brought it up with the drug companies, represented by somebody who's very, very smart, good person, too.
All right. Anyway, I'm not going to subject you to this entire thing. Yes, the issue of different countries paying different amounts for drugs is a major issue. It's an issue I've been talking about for more than a decade. It's an issue that Trump only cares about in the context of looking strong and appearing to bully people and push people around. It's not because of any understanding or connection to what it actually means for people with normal family budgets to afford certain drugs. It's not about that. And of course, the approach that Trump has to fixing it is not to change the market dynamics. It's not to change the regulatory infrastructure. It's not to change the for-profit incentives that exist and shape pharmaceuticals and the healthcare industry. It's not any of that. It's, I'm going to sign an executive order, get confused about whether this counts as legislation, and say that I'm just unilaterally fixing it. Call me naive or call me cynical, but I don't believe that this executive order is going to do a damn thing. Now, Donald Trump is also, speaking of the same lies, he's back to, we're going to do something better than Obamacare. This is a 2015 promise. Go back to Trump's interviews in 2015, prior to getting elected in 2016. He was saying then, we're going to do a better Obamacare for less money. It didn't happen then, nor in 2017. He never gave us the plan in 2020. Last year, he had concepts of a plan. It's the same lie, and he's still using it 10 years on.
To cut drug prices by 80 or 90%. So we're going to maybe come up with something. I think this gives the Republicans a chance to actually do a health care that's much better than Obamacare and for less money, which if you guys would work on that along with Congress. But I do want to cut.
2 weeks away, right? How many times is he going to tell the same lie? But maybe more importantly, how many times are his followers going to believe it? Call me crazy. I don't make predictions. I don't bet. I'm not a betting man. Some people might listen. They think David sounds like a betting man. I'm not. I do not believe that Trump is ever going to pass a healthcare plan. I just don't think it's going to happen. Call me nuts. And then finally, almost a requirement of these events, this whole thing was for Trump to sign an executive order. That was the whole point of this event. Trump, of course, forgets to sign the executive order, starts walking away, and then he's reminded, oh, you've got to sign it.
There's never been anything like it. It's a very exciting time in America. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Who's in charge of the budget bill while you're gone, sir? Mr. President.
And of course, this is like every single time Trump does this, you heard someone there go, oh, you should sign it. And Trump goes, yes, I will sign it. Of course, completely forgetting that that's the whole point of this. Is there anyone in my audience now that believes Trump has a healthcare plan ready to go? That believes Trump is going to bring 11 new automobile factories to the United States? Is there anyone in my audience who is falling for this thing? I want to hear from you. All right, so we all know Alexa listens to us, recommends products based on our conversations. Meta retargets us based on our browsing and engagement history. Have you wondered what ChatGPT and Claude are up to with your conversations? We feed so much of our information to these AI chatbots, thoughts, dreams, sensitive questions, business ideas. They take the information, tie it to your identity, and they can sell that to third parties and governments. ChatGPT has the former director of the NSA on their board right now. That doesn't feel awesome. It took us a long time to truly understand what social media companies were doing with our data. We don't have to make the same mistake with AI. And that's why I've started using Venice AI, a generative AI platform that is private and permissionless. They don't spy on you. Venice AI won't censor the AI. They have a safe mode, which you can turn off for both text and image generation. Messages are encrypted. Your conversation history is only stored on your browser. I love the Pro plan because I get upgraded features like uploading files, unlimited text prompts. Check it out. If you want to use AI without censorship or fear of handing over your most intimate thoughts to a corporation or the government, go to venice.ai/Pacman and use code Pacman to get 20% off their Pro plan. The link is in the description.